Imagine you're the CEO of a massive company. You really only have one main thing keeping you up at night, right? Growth. You want that top-line revenue climbing quarter after quarter. It's exactly what the market expects. But what if I told you about a company that looked at its massive multi-billion rupee revenue stream and voluntarily, systematically tore it to pieces? It sounds absolutely crazy, like corporate sabotage. But here's the wild part. This company intentionally watched its top-line collapse just to guarantee its own survival. Back in the financial year 2015, this business was pulling in a staggering 5,689 crore rupees. But fast forward to 2024, and that number totally crashed to just 316 crore. We are talking about a jaw-dropping 90% evaporation in revenue over a single decade. Now, for almost any other business on the planet, a drop like that is a tombstone. It's game over. But here, it actually represents a deliberate, downright genius corporate strategy. Financial analysts are quietly calling this a true Phoenix phenomenon. Welcome to The Explainer. I am so pumped to have you here today because we are dissecting one of the most incredible structural transformations in the modern market. We are talking about MSTC Limited. This is a state-owned enterprise backed by the Indian government that successfully morphed from a heavy-lifting physical scrap trader into an elite, highly scalable tech and e-commerce powerhouse. It is literally a masterclass in capital allocation, and it impacts everything from massive government auctions to the actual air we breathe. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the genius revenue collapse. Then, the digital e-commerce pivot, followed by the vehicle scrappage revolution. After that, we'll go inside their booming financials, touch on some multi-core legal risks, and finally ask, is this a hidden market gem? Section 1. The genius revenue collapse. Shrinking the top line to save the company. So you really have to ask yourself, why on earth is a 90% revenue drop actually a brilliant move? It completely challenges all our basic assumptions about how businesses, especially traditional public sector ones, are supposed to operate. You see, historically, MSTC was a massive trading house for bulk raw materials like coal and iron ore. They booked the entire gross value of the commodities they traded as revenue. So, on paper, they looked huge. But in reality, they were scraping by on razor-thin margins and taking on massive risk if a client defaulted. They were basically acting as a bank for their clients. Honestly, it was a total recipe for disaster. Management finally realized this unhedged bulk trading was a ticking time bomb, so they choked it off. On purpose. They started demanding 110% bank guarantees for physical trade. Now, obviously, that totally killed their volume, but it completely insulated them from risk. And the result? By dumping that toxic revenue and focusing strictly on transaction fees, their operating profit margin absolutely exploded. It went from a measly 3% in 2015 to a massive 59% by financial year 2026. They literally traded empty, risky revenue for elite profitability. Section 2. The digital e-commerce pivot, moving from physical scrap to an elite tech platform. It's so important to look at the human element here, because shifting the DNA of a legacy company is incredibly tough. Let's look at their history. MSTC was incorporated way back in 1964, really just as a basic government agent to regulate scrap exports. But by 1992, the market liberalized, and they were forced to diversify just to stay afloat. Fast forward to today, and out of sheer necessity, they've evolved into this overarching digital intermediation platform. They handle massive B2B and G2B, that's government to business, e-auctions. We're talking auctions for everything from industrial waste to real estate, agricultural produce, and even 5G spectrum bandwidth. This illustrates the night and day difference perfectly. Under their old model, a single client defaulting could blow up their entire balance sheet. But under the new e-commerce model, MSTC doesn't even own the underlying asset being auctioned. Think of it kind of like eBay or Airbnb. They don't own the inventory, they just provide the digital marketplace and collect a toll at the gate. They only book the transaction fee as revenue, meaning their cost of goods sold is basically zero. It operates exactly like a highly scalable software-as-a-service ecosystem. Section 3. The vehicle scrappage revolution, making an everyday impact through the circular economy. Now, let's connect this high-level corporate pivot to something we all see every day. What happens to our old cars and trucks when they finally give out? You've probably noticed the huge global push for cleaner air, right? Well, the Union Cabinet recently cleared a massive 9,585 crore rupee incentive scheme to immediately phase out over 200,000 highly polluting old trucks and buses in the Delhi NCR region alone. This isn't just a win for public health, it practically guarantees a multi-year supply of end-of-life vehicles. It turns a public environmental crisis into a legally mandated business pipeline. And MSTC positioned itself perfectly for this through a joint venture called Zero. So Zero is a 50-50 joint venture with Mahindra Asilo, and it's a beautifully vertically integrated system. Here's how the whole shebang works. Step 1, they collect these polluting vehicles from major urban centers. Step 2, they physically dismantle them in an eco-friendly way, recovering automotive-grade steel and plastics without poisoning the soil. And step 3 is where the real magic happens. MSTC takes those recovered materials and digitally auctions them on their proprietary platform. They literally profit from cleaning up the environment and then again from the digital sale. The scale they are aiming for here is just breathtaking. Management has laid out this super aggressive strategy to scale their dismantling capacity to 1 million vehicles annually by the 2026-2027 timeframe. We're talking about setting up a physical presence in over 100 Indian cities. By moving first, they aren't just entering a new market. They are practically writing the rulebook for a vehicle recycling industry that is guaranteed to absolutely explode over the next decade. Section 4. Inside the booming financials. Building a pristine balance sheet. Let's bust some financial jargon and look at why this company is an absolute financial fortress right now. What's really interesting about their ownership structure is the massive 64.75% chunk held by the government of India. This sovereign backing creates an insurmountable economic moat of trust. When state governments or defense sectors need to transparently auction off critical assets, they naturally turn to MSTC. And interestingly, sophisticated foreign institutional investors are slowly increasing their slice of the pie too, which signals that global capital is definitely waking up to the value of this digital platform. Their balance sheet is a masterclass in capital efficiency. For starters, they carry zero external interest-bearing debt. Zero. That means they are totally immune to high interest rates. Plus, in financial year 2026, their cash and bank balances ballooned to a staggering 553.72 crore rupees. How did they do that? Well, they brilliantly sold off a heavy industrial subsidiary called FSNL to a Japanese firm for 320 crore rupees. That strategic sale injected massive liquidity, fueling a return on capital employed, which is basically how efficiently they use their money to make profit, of over 30%. It also funded a stellar 7.12% trailing dividend yield, putting serious cash right back into shareholders' pockets. Section 5. The multi-crore legal risks. Facing the ghosts of the trading past. But no corporate thriller is complete without a major lingering conflict. It is not all perfectly smooth sailing. While their future looks bright and digital, the company is still haunted by the ghosts of its old trading days. To get this, we need to quickly define a contingent liability. Basically, it's a potential financial obligation that depends on an uncertain future event, like a judge banging a gavel. Right now, MSTC is entangled in a massive legal battle with Standard Chartered Bank from way back in 2008. It involves unpaid receivables after an insurance claim was denied. The Debt Recovery Tribunal ordered MSTC to pay over 222 crore rupees. Now, MSD has the cash to comfortably absorb this if they lose their appeals, but it's still a severe cautionary threat hanging over shareholder value. On top of that, the company has to navigate some tricky optics. There are ongoing historical inquiries by the Central Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, into legacy trading anomalies by rogue former employees from over a decade ago. Now, while this is unlikely to result in direct financial penalties for the current operation, having your company's name in court dockets next to federal investigators definitely creates a persistent cloud over the brand. It's an optical drag that the current management constantly has to fight. Section 6. A hidden market gem, unlocking the intrinsic valuation. So the crucial point is how all these pieces, the elite tech margins, the circular economy growth, the massive cash pile, and yes, even those lingering legal risks, actually come together. Let's look at the intrinsic valuation and see if the broader market is just missing the bigger picture. When you look at the price to earnings, or PE ratio, a pure digital B2B platform like IndiaMart trades at a massive 43.1 times its earnings. A traditional low-margin distributor like Reddington trades at just 12.3. MSTC sits right in the middle at 18.1, despite having astronomical operating margins of 59%. Those margins rival the best tech companies in the world. The market seems to be pricing MSTC like a boring legacy distributor, totally ignoring its highly scalable digital engine. When independent analysts run rigorous, discounted cash flow models, which is really just a fancy way of estimating a company's true worth based on its future cash, the math is incredibly compelling. These models project future cash from the e-commerce segment and that zero joint venture, add in the massive cash reserves, and safely subtract that potential 222 crore rupee legal penalty. And the result? An independent target price range of 680 to 720 rupees. That represents a massive 20 to 26% potential upside from current levels, and that is entirely exclusive of their 7% dividend yield. There's a quote from the analysis that really hits the nail on the head for me. It says, MSTC effectively combines the astronomical operating margins of a pure digital platform with the scale and national reach of a legacy distributor. That perfectly sums up their true hidden dual identity. They've got the impenetrable trust and scale of a state-owned enterprise combined with the zero-cost, high-profit economics of a Silicon Valley software platform. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. As India rapidly digitizes its government operations and aggressively enforces a green, circular economy, is the broader market making a massive mistake? Are investors looking at a high-tech software and recycling platform, but mistakenly pricing it like a boring legacy scrap trader? Given the numbers, the margins, and this incredible strategic pivot, they just might be. It is a fascinating study in corporate transformation, and I highly encourage you to dive deeper into the market data yourself. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep questioning those assumptions.